Palestinians are struggling to survive on two fronts. The daily quest to find food in a strip devastated by a starvation crisis, and Israel's non-stop bombardment, which has not let up. At least 13 Palestinians have been killed across the strip so far on Tuesday. Earlier, a young girl was rescued from the rubble in Gaza City after an Israeli airstrike targeted the Zeitoun neighbourhood. Her entire family was killed in the attack. And in the south, 5 displaced Palestinians were killed in their tents in al-Mawasi area near Khan Younis. Well, for the latest, Hind joins us now from Deir al-Balah. And Hind, as Gaza mourns the 4 journalists that were killed, the strikes and the killing continues.
It definitely continues, and I have no idea how every Palestinian journalist and how Jazeera journalists are still coming up on air and standing. I don't know how we have the strength, and I don't know from where we're having the strength, but we need to continue, and the coverage needs to continue. The Israeli forces continue to attack different areas across the Gaza Strip, especially al-Mawasi, where this is a safe designated area by the Israeli forces, despite the fact that the Israeli forces have been claiming that this area is safe. But the Israeli forces continue to attack the makeshift tents and makeshift shelters, where a family of 5 have been killed earlier this morning in al-Mawasi. There has been also concentrated attacks on the Gaza City, where the Israeli forces have been targeting families, houses, and we're seeing dozens of Palestinians still trapped under the rubble. We're talking about a family of 4 where a Nadim family has been targeted. A young girl has been rescued, but there are a lot of other Palestinians still trapped under the rubble. And we also saw a video for one of the civil defense teams, Nuh, where he went inside the house and tried to rescue the family, but as he was trying to help, another explosion happened and he was injured with shrapnels. His injury is medium, but he still is in the hospital. There has been also another family, al-Khoudary family in the Gaza City, where 3 Palestinians have been killed, and there are still 20 other Palestinians trapped under the rubble. And there has been another family, a Salami family, when 1 Palestinian has been killed. The civil defense teams are saying that they're still working and operating on rescuing more Palestinians, but we have been seeing intensive airstrikes in the Gaza City and in the northern parts of the Gaza Strip last night, and civil defense teams are suffering and struggling to reach the Palestinians. We know that these teams have been working relentlessly. They have been working without any equipment, and they have been working with their bare hands and with the minimum tools. The searching for the Palestinians under the rubble is still continuing, and we're going to still follow the story, and hopefully they can rescue as much people as they can.
Yeah, indeed, Hind. Can you just talk to us about the timing of these strikes, as well as the killing of the Al Jazeera journalists ahead of Israeli military's planned seizure of Gaza City?
2 teams for Al Jazeera based in the northern Gaza Strip have been killed yesterday. 2 teams. Those 2 teams, Anis Sharif and Muhammad were our own source, were our local journalists, and they're the people who we were completely relying on our coverage from those areas. And silencing the voices of these 2 teams means that the Israeli forces are preparing for another wave of massacres, another wave of violence. We have been seeing Anis's last post calling and telling the people that al-Zeitoun neighborhood is being demolished, intensive airstrikes, and he has been calling for the protection of these neighborhoods. These 2 teams were the voice of the northern Gaza Strip and the Gaza City, Zeitoun neighborhood, and these 2 teams were the people who were raising the voice of the voiceless people on those areas. Now, what we also need to know is the amount of airstrikes, the amount of demolishing in those areas is massive. There has been continuous explosions, according to people in that source, in those areas, according to eyewitnesses, and they're saying that this is obviously a new ground incursion in those areas. And this is because people have been witnessing a lot, they experienced a lot, and they know how the Israeli forces start operating in an area. But what we also need to know is, even if Anas was killed, assassinated, even if Muhammad has been killed, there are a lot of other Palestinian journalists that are willing to follow the steps, and they're going to follow covering and reporting what is going to happen in those areas. We do not deny that this has been very hard on every single Palestinian journalist. Their funeral yesterday was very sad. The streets were crying, people in the streets were crying, but also Palestinians were calling and they were saying, where did you go, Anas, and leave us alone? And Palestinians feel that they lost a part of them. They lost a part of their family, a family member, despite the fact that Anas was away from his family, but he was also close to every single Palestinian family across the Gaza Strip. This has been very harsh on us, but Palestinian journalists are going to continue reporting, and whatever is going to happen in the Gaza City won't be silenced, and we're going to continue to cover the story.
Hind, thank you so much for your work, for your bravery, for continuing to tell these important stories of the realities of what is happening in Gaza. Hind Khoudary for us there in Deir al-Balah.
Don't miss out. Get a full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.